Well, the Eagles are officially back for offseason training activities, and Jalen Hurts met with the media and gave probably the greatest response to why he took less money in the history of the National Football League. Also, a lot of smoke going on. Draft week is officially here. Are the Eagles that interested in Jaxon Smith-Njigba? Are they in love with Nolan Smith? What about the Derrick Henry trade? And that's officially died. A lot more today. I'm Thomas Mott. This is the Thomas Mott Show. What's up, guys? Thomas Mott here. Welcome to the Thomas Mott Show on a Monday. Thumbs up for the draft finally being this week. Give me 1,000 likes. The fact we finally are getting all the rumors out of here and the cold hard facts starting Thursday. Going to be live here on the show with Thomas Mott, myself, and Josh Davis as well. Be sure to subscribe and stay tuned for that. We'll get to draft stuff in just 1 second. First, let's start with Jalen Hurts. Just quickly here. Jalen Hurts had his essentially introductory press conference, or I guess introductory press conference to the new league year, as he's in the building for OTAs. He's been in the building for most of the offseason training activities, and he was asked about the brand new contract he just signed. Listen to this super short and sweet answer. I love this.
Money is nice, championships are better.
Money is nice, championships are better. If there was ever any doubt that Jalen Hurts wanted to win championships, the proof is in the millions of dollars that he did not get with this contract, even though we already talked about how fair it is, how great it is. It's a very good contract for both teams, but it's not a Jalen Hurts-friendly deal. It's a team-friendly deal as well, and Hurts clearly took less money in order to bring in maybe some more players they could possibly trade for later this week, or just sign more players in the future. He also went ahead and had a really, really fun quote when he was on, I guess, the Eagles' official Twitter account. Listen to this after he signed his contract.
Eagles fans, very excited for the future. It's official. Nothing changed but the weather, baby. Let's go. Fly, Eagles, fly.
Nothing has changed but the weather. That's facts. He's in there every single day. He's working, even though he's a $179 million man, at least fully guaranteed. He's very rich, very wealthy, but also wants to go out and try to win a championship. Thumbs up for Jalen Hurts being the quarterback. I mean, that's about as good as you possibly could hope for of an answer from your guy. He's not changing. He's only going to get better. Love that from Jalen Hurts. Okay, let's get over to some of the draft rumors and news of the day. This one came out yesterday, and that is Jaxon Smith-Njigba, the wide receiver out of Ohio State. Tom Pauline, I believe he's from the Pro Football Network, had a very, very interesting quote here when talking about what the Eagles could do at number 10. Look at this, quote, "First, the Philadelphia Eagles are making a late push on the wideout and doing a lot of work on him in recent days. Second, Smith-Njigba is definitely part of the conversation for the Jets at 13 if the offensive tackles are off the board. I was told outright that Jets are absolutely considered Jaxon Smith-Njigba with that pick. Both bits of news surprised me, yet I was able to confirm each of them," end quote. Now, this could be smoke. You gotta realize every single report you hear between now and about 7 p.m. on Thursday evening could just be a, fake news.
You are fake news.
Smoke screen, misinformation, disinformation. Tired of hearing that, but you get my point. This could totally be fake. However, when you think about the Eagles draft targets at number 10, you have to realize it's kind of getting a little cloudy here. If it's not Bijan Robinson, if it's not, Nolan Smith, if Jalen Carter is not available, if Tyree Wilson is already gone, you don't trip for Will Anderson, what are you going to do? It's basically Peter Skoronski, Lucas Van Ness, Myles Murphy, or Jaxon Smith-Njigba. And I think Jackson's a really, really, really good wide receiver. I mean, he would make this the greatest wide receiver core in recent memory, not just currently in the National Football League, in recent memory. My issue with it, though, is it necessary? Do you 100% need it? Now, the answer is no. I think Philadelphia is at a point where they realized how rough past seasons have been with old wide receivers or wide receiver groups that the Eagles had tried to work with under Carson Wentz that never really turned into anything, and now they're trying to make sure that that sort of situation never, ever happens again. I mean, I love this tweet here from Brandon Deeg. This was the Eagles wide receiver room when they won the division in 2019. Greg Ward, J.J. Arcega-Whiteside, Deontay Burnett, and Robert Davis. They won that year. You think back to Carson Wentz struggling. Well, he didn't really have great wide receivers, especially when Alshon Jeffrey left, but I digress. It just shows you that maybe Howie's going, just give him more weapons. Just make it impossible to defend us, and we're going to go ahead and kick the teeth out of anybody offensively. We'll worry about the defense on the other end. So what do you guys think? Jaxon Smith, you interested in him? JNS or JSN, he could be really, really good for the Philadelphia Eagles. I'm iffy, but I think this is more of a smokescreen than actual fact. I'd be very surprised if they were to take him. I think Bijan, Skoronski, Nolan Smith, Van Ness, Myles Murphy are a lot more likely than, I would say, a wide receiver. Now, what is completely unlikely to happen is the idea of the Derrick Henry trade. Now, I could still be wrong. They can still trade for Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry could be cut. The Titans are shopping Ryan Tannehill. There's always a possibility. However, Peter King of Pro Football Talk went ahead and kind of took away the idea that Derrick Henry was coming to Philadelphia. It was a lot of smoke over the weekend. We'll talk about that in a second, but here's what Peter King said, quote, "Per a source with knowledge of the situation, it won't be happening. Early in the offseason, a report surfaced the Titans were shopping Henry. Nothing happened, in part because Henry has a salary of $10.5 million this year, and in part because he's likely looking for a new contract. He's in the final year of his current deal. Last year, the Eagles sent a first-round pick to the Titans for Brown. This year, the deep class of incoming rookie running backs, it's harder to envision the Eagles making a big move at a position where supply far outweighs demand, and where age and wear and tear make it hard to justify going all in for a veteran tailback," end quote. I totally agree. I thought about doing a show on this on Sunday when this news broke, but it just didn't seem real. I was waiting for the actual trade to happen the way I could react to it, and it just kind of doesn't feel like the smart move the Eagles would have to do. Now, let me just explain how it could work if you gave up a third-round draft pick, not a first or a second. No, that would never happen for a 29-year-old running back in Derrick Henry. He's great. King Henry. You can crown him. All that stuff. Not saying he's bad. What I'm saying is I would give up a third, and you'd have to restructure that contract to make it a team-friendly deal. And if you're Derrick Henry, why would you restructure when you make $10.5 million this year? Unless he wants to come to Philadelphia, unless he wants to be paired with A.J. Brown. I think the tweets that Brown sent out earlier this weekend, maybe. But the odds of this actually happening are very slim. Plus, all you people out there who'd rather take Henry over Bijan Robinson are absolutely nuts. Derrick Henry, zero disrespect, but Bijan fits the offense way, 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 way better. He's a much better receiver out of the backfield. Philadelphia loves to be able the ability to do that. And he'd be dirt cheap for the next 5 years versus maybe a 3-year contract extension for Derrick Henry to get him over the age of 30. A lot of miles and wear on those treads. I'm out on the Derrick Henry trade. Seems like most of the people are as well. Okay, final storyline here. Another one from Peter King. This one to me is very interesting regarding Nolan Smith. Again, could it be smoke? Could it be fire? Who actually knows? But Peter King did his mock draft recently, and he has Nolan Smith going to Philly at 10. But listen to what he said. Quote, "Nolan Smith, edge rusher, Georgia, came very close to giving the Eagles Peter Skoronski here, but two things happened Sunday. A GM who's always smart when I do this exercise told me he knew the Eagles loved Smith. And someone else told me Skoronski very likely to play guard. And check out where the Eagles have drafted starting guards or guards to be. Okay, Cam Jurgens, Landon Dickerson, Isaac Seumalo went 51st, 37th, and 79th overall, respectively. And then look at the ages of the 4 remaining prominent edge or edge players: Brandon Graham, Hassan Reddick, Derek Barnett, and Josh Sweat, averaging 29 years, 7 months as of September. Okay, I talked myself into a 238-pound edge player who runs a 4.39 40-yard dash, end quote. Interesting part here is the Skoronski side of things. The Eagles have not spent high first-round draft picks on guards, and they still have Cam Jurgens, which I continue to tell people, Will Thomas, he hasn't played guard. You can't lock him into that spot. I know, but he can play guard. He'll be okay. I feel very confident in putting that out there. So Nolan Smith is probably the most likely edge rusher who would be available at 10. Tyree Wilson is probably going to be gone. We talked about this. Jalen Carter is going to be gone. Will Anderson is going to be gone. And you like the idea of bringing him in, mentoring under Hassan Reddick, finding ways to get both of them on the football field at the same time, and hoping you get the next Micah Parsons. Parsons is not massive. You talk about 238 pounds, but 4.39 40. If that speed is true and that speed can transition to the football field, Nolan Smith at 10, maybe a trade back to 12 or 13, could make a lot of sense for the Eagles. What do you guys think? Do you have any idea who Philadelphia is going to take at number 10 overall? Give me your best guess down below right now. I've said before, it's offensive line. Like, my gut says offensive line. My heart doesn't want to. My gut says offensive line. But I think Nolan Smith would be the other no-shock pick from Philadelphia, especially if Van Ness is and if Miles Murphy is a little this could kind of be the option for Philadelphia. But, as we always say, Smith, the wide receiver from Ohio State, and the running back from Texas, Bijan Robinson, be the two sexiest, most fun picks on Thursday night. Either way, myself, Josh Davis, Philly Special Show, we will be live for the entire first round. He'll be live. I'll jump in for the second round. I have a wedding on Friday night, unfortunately. But it's going to be a bunch of fun. Subscribe. Can we get to 11,000 subs before the draft here on the channel? I think we can. A lot of stuff happening the next couple of days and weeks. They say it'll be the craziest draft in recent history. I'm Thomas Mott. This is the Thomas Mott Show.